Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep, literally, into one of the most shocking maritime tragedies of our time. On June 18, 2023, 5 adventurers embarked on what was supposed to be the adventure of a lifetime, a journey to explore the legendary Titanic wreck, lying 3,800 meters beneath the ocean's surface. But instead of returning with incredible stories and photos, their submersible vanished without a trace. This wasn't just any tourist trip. It was extreme adventure tourism at its peak, costing each passenger over $2 million for a few hours underwater. And yet, within hours of descending into the depths, something went horribly wrong. What happened to the Titan submersible? Why did it disappear? And could this tragedy have been avoided? Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a story like this again. Let's get started. To understand this story, we need to go back to April 15, 1912. The night the RMS Titanic sank after hitting an iceberg. Over 2,500 people lost their lives, making it one of the deadliest peacetime maritime disasters in history. For decades, the Titanic rested undisturbed at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean until 1985, when oceanographer Robert Ballard discovered the wreck. Since then, the Titanic has become a symbol of human ambition and hubris. Its remains are scattered across the seafloor, broken into 2 massive pieces surrounded by debris fields stretching hundreds of meters. Exploring the Titanic isn't easy. It sits nearly 4 kilometers below the surface, where the pressure is crushing, the temperatures are freezing, and sunlight doesn't exist. Only specialized vehicles can survive these conditions. So why would anyone risk going there? For some, it's about experiencing history firsthand. For others, it's the thrill of conquering the unknown. But as we'll see, sometimes the unknown fights back. The submersible that disappeared was called the Titan. Built by a private company called OceanGate, it was designed to take wealthy tourists to the Titanic wreck. Now, before we talk about what went wrong, let me explain the difference between a submarine and a submersible. Submarines are fully autonomous. They can operate independently and travel long distances underwater. Submersibles, on the other hand, need a support ship to launch them and retrieve them. In this case, the support ship was the Polar Prince, which stayed on the surface while the Titan descended into the abyss. What made the Titan unique, or controversial, was its experimental design. Most submersibles are built using materials like steel, titanium, or aluminum, which are proven to withstand extreme pressures. But the Titan's hull was made of carbon fiber, a lightweight material often used in aerospace engineering. While carbon fiber is strong, it had never been tested at such depths before. And here's where things get concerning. Stockton Rush, the CEO of OceanGate, openly admitted that he broke safety rules to build the Titan. In interviews, he said things like, "At some point, safety is just pure waste." He believed that innovation required taking risks, even if those risks endangered lives. In fact, several industry experts warned him about the dangers of his approach. In 2018, 36 leading oceanographers, engineers, and explorers wrote an open letter urging Rush to prioritize safety. They warned that cutting corners could lead to disaster. Unfortunately, their warnings went unheeded. On June 18, 2023, the Titan set off on its doomed mission. Aboard were 5 passengers: British billionaire Hamish Harding, French naval commander Paul-Henri Nargeolet, Shahzada Dawood and his son Suleiman from Pakistan, and Stockton Rush himself. These weren't ordinary tourists. They were experienced adventurers who had faced danger before. For the first hour and 45 minutes, everything seemed fine. The Titan communicated regularly with the Polar Prince via text messages sent every 15 minutes. But then, suddenly, the signals stopped. At first, no one panicked. After all, the Titan carried enough oxygen for 96 hours, 4 days. If it got stuck, the crew could tilt the vessel to release ballast weights and float back to the surface. But as the hours ticked by, hope began to fade. By 4:30 p.m., the Titan still hadn't resurfaced. That's when the Polar Prince contacted the U.S. Coast Guard, triggering a multinational search and rescue operation unlike anything seen before. So what exactly happened to the Titan? Experts believe it imploded under the immense pressure of the deep ocean. To understand why, imagine squeezing a soda can until it collapses inward. That's essentially what happens during an implosion. At 3,800 meters, the water pressure is nearly 400 times greater than at sea level. Most submersibles are designed to handle this kind of stress, but the Titan's carbon fiber hull may not have been up to the task. Once the hull failed, the implosion would have occurred almost instantly, so fast that the passengers likely didn't feel a thing. It's a grim reminder of how unforgiving the deep ocean can be. Even small design flaws can have catastrophic consequences. For 4 agonizing days, teams from the US, Canada, and other countries scoured the ocean floor, searching for signs of the Titan. Aircraft deployed sonar equipment, ships scanned the surface, and remotely operated vehicles, ROVs, dove into the darkness. On day 3, a Canadian aircraft detected faint banging noises coming from below. Could it be the passengers signaling for help? Hope soared, but ultimately the sounds turned out to be unrelated to the Titan. Finally, on June 22nd, an ROV discovered debris near the Titanic wreck. Among the wreckage were fragments of the Titan's carbon fiber hull. There was no doubt the submersible had imploded, and all 5 passengers had perished. The Titan tragedy raises important questions about safety, regulation, and the ethics of pushing boundaries in pursuit of profit. Stockton Rush once compared himself to the pioneers of aviation, arguing that innovation requires risk. But unlike early aviators, Rush wasn't experimenting alone. He took paying customers with him, knowing full well the dangers they faced. This disaster serves as a stark reminder that nature always wins. No matter how advanced our technology becomes, the ocean will always be a hostile environment. We owe it to the victims of the Titan to learn from this tragedy and ensure that similar mistakes aren't repeated. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into the Titan submersible disaster. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating stories like this one. And let me know in the comments, what do you think about the balance between innovation and safety? Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and keep exploring. See you soon.